So it was late 2022 and I had more money than I knew what to do with, but I also didn't have any time either. And I was always stressed out about what was going on in my life, what was going on in my business. And I literally lived, breathed, ate, consumed, thought about land flipping all the time. Even when I had the amount of success that I had, I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars in profit at the time, just sitting in an account, I still had this constant fear and worry because I was living very well. I was taking care of my family. I was sending my mom on all these trips and helping my wife. And like, I was doing it. I had made it. I had made it, essentially. I hadn't hit my first 7 figures yet, but I had essentially felt like, man, I'm here, I've arrived. But I was also working incredibly hard, like almost too hard, to the point where it's like, why are you working this hard? And I mean, 10, 12-hour days, whether it be picking markets, being on the phone. I was doing every single thing in my business. So I was doing very well, but I was also doing everything in my business. And I didn't have any system for making these things happen on a consistent basis. And I realized, you know what, I don't think I can do this anymore. It got to a point where I was like, I don't know if I can keep flipping land. I'm gonna have to do something else. I'm gonna have to find something else because this is really hard. And I was like, well, that doesn't make sense. This is printing all my cash right now. This is what's making me all my money. This is how I've been able to take care of my family, how we're able to do the trips that we're doing, how we're able to invest, how we're able to do like literally everything. I'm sitting here like, what am I gonna do? And I realized that what I needed was systems around my business. And I sat and actually asked myself, okay, what is it that you want? And that's when I came up with peace, purpose, and profit. So I want peace in my life. I want to be able to do what I want to do when I want to do it. And even though my mind is always busy, I don't want my mind to always be at war. And it's funny because as I scale now, those things are starting to happen again where my mind is at war because I have so many different things going on. But at that particular time, I was like, okay, what do I want? I want to get to at least $1 million liquid. At least I want to get to $1 million liquid. And so if you're sitting here and you're kind of like lifestyle trapped and you're spending a lot of money and then you're also making a lot of money, that's not really going to be sustainable. So we have to kind of dial some of these things back and let's figure out how to actually systematize the business, how to hire things out, how to make sure that we get A-player employees. How do we do that? So I started documenting every single process in my business. I started going, okay, well, here's how we intake a lead. How do we do it better? How can we improve it? Here's how we talk to a seller. What about seller profiles? How do we profile our sellers? I mean, I know that this one is a little more amiable. This one's a little more angry. So how do we profile the different sellers? And also just kind of calculate based upon what we've had probability-wise, what we've already closed. How do we calculate how many times to follow up? How do we calculate how to talk to them? Because there's different ways to talk to different people. And how do I teach someone else how to do that? So these are things that I started recording in my business. Literally every single process, from transactions to brokers to literally everything. I started recording everything because I realized that if you want to get to $1 million liquid, if you want to do 7 figures profit per year, well, then what you have to do is systematize it and delegate it out. Because what I want is peace, purpose, and profit. I want to have purpose as well. My purposes are to be able to take care of my family and live a purposeful life. I mean, so many people just live a purposeless life and their life is just about money. It's all about money, but there's no true purpose behind it, right? It's just, oh, I want to make money so I can buy this car. I want to make money so I can do this. I want to make money so I can do that. I want to impact as many people as I possibly can. So if I want to impact as many people as I possibly can, how can I do that by just being one? I have to build a company. I have to build a series of companies if I want to impact millions of people. You need help. And so this is what I realized. No great man or woman built an empire on their own. No one did. And so I realized, okay, well, you can't be the solopreneur anymore. You have to be able to hire people and you have to get really good at hiring. You have to be really good at being someone's boss, being the captain of the ship. You have to be really good at it. And it took me a lot of time. It took me a lot of practice. It took me a lot of hiring, firing. It took a lot of that until I figured it out. And even today, there's times where I'm still figuring out and trying to figure out, okay, what's the best way to delegate this? What position is needed here? Where are the pain points? Why is this task in the business or this function in the business taking so long? So how do we make sure that we speed that up? How do we do that? These are all questions that I ask myself in order to get to peace, purpose, and profitability. Because look, I didn't want to run this huge team of 100 people, 200 people. That never really meant anything to me. What meant something to me was having a team of a few people that you can depend on and you can go to war with, and that will do their job no matter what. So that way, when I'm making YouTube videos, we're still closing deals. And so this is what almost got me to quit land flipping, and it's what got me to say, you know what? No, let's double, triple down, build an actual business that prints cash consistently. And that's what I did. And so if you're in this situation right now where you're kind of stuck and you're like, man, like, I mean, I'm doing a deal here, I'm doing a deal there. Maybe I have an employee, but they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Or, you know, I think I kind of know what culture is. This video is for you, because I didn't even know what culture was either. I just put some credo up about who we are and said, oh, hey, you know, we're respectful, we have integrity, but that doesn't mean anything. What means something to your employees and the people that you employ is how you act, because they're all looking at how you act. And you also have to understand this: just because you're paying someone, it doesn't mean that you hold authority over them. You don't hold authority over someone just because you pay them. You hold authority over someone when you can actually embody the qualities of the authority. Is this a person that I can look up to? Is this a person that I see myself growing with? Is this a person that is telling or doing the things that they say to me that they're doing, or doing the things that they're asking me to do? Have they actually already done it? And so literally every task in my business, I had already done it as well. So when it was time to train someone on how to do it, it was like, look, I did this. I'm not special. All I did was put my head down, grind, and do it correctly. And I formalized systems around it. Now the systems are special. The way that we do things is special. When people ask like, oh, well, I see here, it's funny actually, I had a client the other day text me that he got a mailer template for some property that he owned. And he said that I can tell that it was one of your clients. And that's what's special. When you can tell based upon brand awareness, brand perception, that's how I teach. When you know, right? And so that was very powerful to me, because that's what has been special, but only because of how hard I worked and how hard I've worked over the years to formulate something that is unique, to formulate systems that are unique so that you can close deals left and right from anywhere in the world. That's what I've focused my entire 20s on, is making sure that people are able to close deals on a consistent basis. And so if you're in that point where it's like, man, I just kind of feel stuck and I don't know like how to scale, like I'm at that 10 to 50K months, or let's say you're at 30 to 150K a quarter, or you've got a lot of money in the pipeline that hasn't closed. This is how you materialize that wealth. It's how you materialize that wealth, by saying, okay, well, look, I've made some money doing this. Where do I want to go? You have to ask yourself, where do you want to go? Okay, I want to make $1 million a year doing this. Okay, well, let's backtrack the steps. So if I want to make $1 million a year, I have to do this amount of deals. I have to send this kind of marketing. I have to send it to these kind of properties. Okay, great. Well, I can't do all this myself. So what are the major pain points that I need to hire right now? And then what you do is figure out situations in where you successfully close deals, and you have to analyze every single part of that deal up until the point that money came into your account. This is what I did as well. Analyzation. Analyzation is how you get rich. You have to analyze everything. Analyze every conversation. Analyze everything you've ever done. Analyze how you take notes. Analyze how you listen to a seller. Analyze everything. And when you start to analyze it, then you realize that the proof is right there in the pudding. The proof is there for duplication. When you realize that the proof is there for duplication, then you can take the proof from what you've already done and you can duplicate it 100 more times. This is what I've done. I've just taken proof from deals that we've closed successfully. And then I've said, okay, well, cool. This is kind of like the thesis. And then I take this, I formulate it, and then I extrapolate it into everything else that we're doing. And that's why we're able to do the kinds of deals that we consistently do. And it's also why I've been able to copy and paste this exact same thing into all of my clients, which is why I have clients now that are getting deals under contract for $1.2 million and selling them for $1.9 million within 45 days of working with me. So the proof is in the pudding. This is why I have clients that are calling me and telling me that they've made the most money they've ever made in their entire life. The proof is in the pudding. This is why I tell a client, okay, here's this thing that you can do. Here's this thing, here's this broker, here's this connection. And then they come back to me and say, man, I got an offer within 48 hours and now I'm going to make $25,000. And they've only been on one call with me. The proof is in the pudding. This is exact. Oh, hey. I'm not gonna cut that out. I'm gonna leave that in. Damn. Anyways. I realized that I think this business can become so simple and so easy for you if you allow it to be. And I wasn't allowing it to be at that time. And once I allowed it to be, it just became this thing where I look at my phone, I'm like, cool, another wire transfer. Cool, gotta go sign another HUD statement. And that's what you want. You wanna wake up and be like, all right, cool, I have a few HUDs to sign this morning. And then the rest of the day, what I'm gonna do, I don't know, maybe I'll go to the beach. Cool, if you want. I mean, for me, I've definitely had those seasons where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sign a couple of HUDs, make a bunch of money, and then I'm gonna go to the beach today, I'm just gonna hang out. But in the season that I'm in right now, it's just building, doing a lot more, thinking a lot less. That's what it is for me. And so whatever you want to have the choice though. You got to give yourself the choice. And most people don't even have the peace in their mind to be able to give themselves a choice. And if you're not profitable, then it's like you can't even do that. You can't even it's like you're constantly stressed out. It's like, I understand I got to delegate, but but you got to do it at some time. And this is what I tell people, like, the time is going to pass either way. So you have to utilize the time properly. So all these people that I see, they're like, oh man, I'm going to get deals. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Well, are you going to do it or are you doing it? Which one? Because I'm not about to do anything. Anything I'm about to do, I'm just doing it. And that's what it is. And so you have to be very aware of that and realize what is it that you want exactly, and understand that the land flipping business can give you literally all those things. A profitable land flipping business can give you all of those things if you choose. And so I'm sitting, every house around me right now is worth over $1.5 million. Every single one. Some houses over there that are worth $3 million, $5 million right there, $2 million right there. All these 1.5 or more. 5 years ago, I wouldn't have imagined it. I wouldn't have imagined that I'd be living in one of the most prominent areas in California. I would not have imagined it. But you know what? I would have believed it. I would have believed it because I knew the kind of work that I was doing at that particular time. I knew the kind of studying that I was doing at that particular time. And I knew what I wanted out of my life. And so you have to know exactly what it is that you want out of your life if you're going to get it. And most people don't. Most people just kind of drift through it. Most people just drift through. And so what it is figure out exactly what you want. You know that the vehicle is land investing. You know that this is the vehicle already. So now you figure out, what is this vehicle going to take you to? So you're in the car right now, but where are you going to go? That's what you have to ask yourself. And when you know exactly where you're going to go, well then, when you're driving to your destination, if you hit a pothole, then you're not just going to stop and say, oh shit, I hit a pothole. You're not going to do that. You're going to roll over the pothole and keep going. If you run out of gas, you're not just going to stop and say, oh, I ran out of gas. If your tire goes flat, you're not just going to stop and say, oh, my tire went flat. And this is what a lot of people don't understand. Most people are in a vehicle and they don't know where they're going. And so when you get a flat tire, you go, oh man, I got a flat tire. You know what? I'm just going to stay here. Because you don't know where you're going. You're just drifting. When you step on that pothole, when you go over the pothole, you say, oh, whoa, I went over a pothole. Oh, hold on, I got to stop. Because you don't know where you're going. So for me, no matter what, flat tire, oil change, whatever is going on with my vehicle, I'm going to fix it. And then I'm going to keep going there. And so when it comes to land investing specifically, when it comes to seller's not calling you back, seller ghosted you, like all these things that happen in the business, easement, you got to get, the property, you can't close on it. Something's wrong. Seller doesn't want to close. Whatever problem there is, always remember, where is it that I'm going? Where did I say I wanted to go? Where did I say I wanted to go? And when you realize that where I said I wanted to go was to this exact point, okay, well then I know exactly what I need to do to get there. So I don't care, pothole, flat tire, whatever. If a rock hits my windshield, I'm gonna keep going to where I need to go. And that's what I had to realize years ago. And that's what's brought me to this point, to where I can just say that I'm able to live the life that I want to live. And I have no, like, genuinely, I'm in the building phase where I'm just able to like build what I want to build. And I have so much fun. I have so much fun delivering value to my clients. I have so much fun doing deals. I have so much fun building the things that I'm building. And I really enjoy this. And so I want the same thing for you, however it looks like. Figure out what you want. Start to develop systems around what you want. Execute on those systems. If you need help putting this into your business, putting this into your life, feel free to book a strategy call below. I'd be happy to help you. I'll see you guys in the next video.